Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Terry Hamlin. I'm the co-chair of the Prince George's County Lynching Memorial Project Racial Justice Contest Ceremony. It is a distinct honor and privilege to welcome you to this momentous occasion where we gather to celebrate the remarkable work of the student winners of the Prince George's County Lynching Memorial Project Racial Justice Contest. We are delighted to have our esteemed state senators and delegates with us today. Their tireless commitment to justice and equality continues to inspire the future generations. Your presence here underscores the importance of the work we are acknowledging. We are especially pleased to have Dr. Sherry Mehta co-hosting with us today. Sherry. As a vital racial justice contest committee member, Dr. Mehta has worked diligently with this contest over the years. In addition to her leadership and dedication, she will grace us with her talent as a songbird, leading us in singing Lift Every Voice and Sing. I also extend a heartfelt welcome to the friends, parents, and guests who are here to support these remarkable students. Your encouragement and belief in these young leaders have been instrumental in their journey. Today we come together not to only celebrate the accomplishments of our students, but also to renew our collective commitment to the pursuit of justice and the acknowledgement of history. Their creativity and passion demonstrated by these young individuals inspire us to all keep striving toward a just and equitable future. To our valued co-sponsors and partners, the Greenbelt Black History and Culture Committee, your collaboration and dedication to promoting racial justice and historical awareness are invaluable. We are grateful for your continued support. And we will now have a welcome from the chair of the committee, Dr. Lois Rosado.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I would like to congratulate all of the awardees and all the winners. We are celebrating excellence today. And I also want to send out a heartfelt congratulations to the parents and guardians of these remarkable winners. On behalf of the Greenbelt Black History and Culture Committee, I welcome you to the city of Greenbelt. Now, Greenbelt was founded in 1937 as a segregated city. I wouldn't be living here if I had been around at that time. And I think it is helpful to see how this city has grown and developed. It was also considered a sundown town, and some people still consider it a sundown town, but we won't get into that. I think the city has grown and transformed itself. And in 2009, when I moved here, I had the opportunity to elect the first African American to the city council. This person has gone on to become mayor of Greenbelt. And so I would like to welcome to the podium our mayor, Mr. Emmett George.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rosado. So I'd like to welcome you all to the city of Greenbelt on this beautiful afternoon, to the family members, to the young people who did the essays, and everyone else, to our state senator. You know, it's a real privilege, it's an honor to be able to host this important program here in Greenbelt once again. I think this is the fifth or sixth time that fourth time that we've hosted the program in Greenbelt. So I want to acknowledge the Prince George's County Lynching Memorial Project for the work that they do. And this essay contest is just a small part of it that gives us an opportunity to actually contemplate and think about the truths of our nation's continuing legacy of the institution of slavery and its impact on enslaved people, their descendants, and also memorializes the victims of the racial terrors of lynchings in our county. So this essay contest is an opportunity to really have our young people put forward these ideas that we should all think about a little bit more. So on behalf of the Greenbelt City Council, I want to acknowledge Mayor Pro Tem Kristen Weaver, who's here, and the entire city of Greenbelt. I just want to congratulate the Lynching Project and the Greenbelt Black History and Culture Committee for pulling this together once again. So that's my part of the program. I don't know if our senator would like to say a couple of words.
Yes.
Senator Washington, welcome.
Okay. How you doing, Mayor? Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Alonzo Washington. I'm a state senator that represents this great town of Greenbelt. I'm very excited to be here today. Let me first just acknowledge a few folks in the room. Can we just give a round of applause for the co-chair of this committee, Terry Hamlin, who's here. Just all hard work. Thank you. I'm looking around and you're right here. Also want to always acknowledge Dr. Lois Rosado, who's just an amazing human being and community advocate here in our not only just here in the city of Greenbelt. She's a treasure of ours here in the city of Greenbelt, but just an awesome human being for Prince George's County and the state of Maryland. So very thankful for you as well for all the hard work that you do. And I see we're going to hear from Lou and Betty a little later, so I just want to acknowledge her as well for her hard work and dedication to our community. Thank you. Yeah, please give her a round of applause too. I'm not going to be long, but I wanted to recognize a few of the amazing folks that are in this room, our students who participated in this program and in the essay, and it's just this moment in time that we all are in, where you have this opportunity in front of you to talk about racial justice and equity and what it had, the impacts that it's had, not only particularly in Maryland, but in Prince George's County. It's significantly an achievement. And I say that because we have a administration right now who's trying to change and alter the history of this country and really say to us that what this country has done to Black African Americans in the past no longer exists, and it didn't happen. And it didn't happen the way that the folks that we know that came before us, who we stand on their shoulders for the hard work and the things that and the sacrifices that they made, that we are here today, that the experiences that they had. We can't discount those. And because of your essays show to us that those things that those experiences actually happen. And I want to thank you for that. Here at the I read recently where this administration, this president is really going after the African American Museum that was built just years ago, saying that they're going to go through there and tear out anything that they believe is not true, essentially. Anything that they believe that they don't think happened in the past, they're going to just take out and erase the history that has occurred. So right now in this moment when we're here, we can't forget the past, because it's going to tell us our future most times. And we're going to learn from those things. And so in this moment, I hope that you all know that we have to fight against this. We cannot allow this administration and this president to erase our past. And so it's going to be up to you and this next generation of the young people sitting in this room to really fight for us. And this is the first step. And I appreciate you for it. So let me recognize those folks who participated. Is this the right time, Dr. Rosado? That's the right time? Want me to do it later?
Go with it. Go.
No, let's do it later. Let's do it. You sure? Okay. Well, let me recognize some of the students that are here. I want to recognize Ava Raines, who's here. She's coming up. Yeah, I want to get some certificates here. Here's a citation from me to you, Ms. Raines. Thank you for your hard work. And I'm gonna call up Cheyenne Godfrey as well. Please give her a round of applause. There you go. Thank you. And Caroline Am I saying that right? And actually, if I can ask everybody, if I can ask you all to come back up and just stand up here for me, if you don't mind, all the recipients so far. Thank you very much. Yep, you can stand right there. That'd be great. Yep. And we're going to recognize Devin Bond. Is Devin Bond here today? Not here today? Okay, perfect. We'll hold on to that one. And Lion Lawson. Not here today? Okay. Kyla Fletcher. Kalia Fletcher. We have Riley Alicia Burton. Yeah, I got that all right. Congratulations, absolutely. Angel Adesoja. Adesoji. My wife is from Gambia, so I have to say these words and say your names correctly. She's gonna get me when I get home. Angelina, excuse me. Angelina's here? Yes. There you go, congratulations. And you can yep, absolutely. And last but not least, Gearlis Tavares Ramirez. Okay, I know these young people are holding these citations, but let me read one of them. Official citation, be it hereby known to all that the sincerest congratulations are offered to all these amazing participants in recognition of receiving the Prince George's County Racial Justice Award for your essays and for your participation. Presented on this third day of May 2025, signed by your state senator, Alonzo Washington. Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations. Thank you, everybody.
We can go a little out of order, especially when it's something really, really good for our students. Next, we'll have Dr. Lula Beatty. Dr. Lula Beatty is the chair of the Racial Justice Contest, and we appreciate your leadership and unwavering commitment to promoting racial justice and education have been instrumental in bringing this contest to life. Dr. Lula Beatty will give us updates on Prince George's County Lynching Memorial Project.
For your assistance. I'm going to just talk a little bit. I don't want to take too much time away from hearing about the students and hearing from the students. But I'm going to run with you the Prince George's County Lynching Memorial Project and what it is. We start all of our meetings with the calling of the names of the 4 men who were lynched in Prince George's County. Mr. Thomas Jurix Scataway, October 12, 1869. Mr. John Henry Scott, Oxon Hill, March 23, 1875. Mr. Michael Green, Upper Marlboro, September 1st, 1878. And Mr. Stephen Williams, Upper Marlboro, October 20th, 1894. May they rest in peace and power. One of the first questions we often get asked is why lynching? That's something that's happened in the past. Racial terror lynching was beyond just lynching or murdering the man involved. It was a way of intimidating the black community. Murder has no statute of limitations. None of the men that were lynched in Prince George's County were ever had justice. No one was ever held accountable. No one was ever held accountable for the almost 6,000 documented lynchings that have occurred in the United States. Lynchings occur now. We call them modern day lynchings. And so we're working for criminal justice reform and for other elimination of disparities that have affected our community in particular. Our mission is to educate everybody, the public, about the truths of our nation's continuing legacy of the institution of slavery and its impact on all of us today. We also aim to memorialize victims of racial terror lynchings in our county, and we work to advance the cause of racial justice and reconciliation through mutual support and collaboration. I want to just focus a little bit on the work that we're trying to do with students and to bring young voices into this dialogue about our past and our present and our future. These are some of our major programs and events. When we memorialize, we do some soil collections. That first slide I showed you had a collection of soil where we went and a group of young men that are in a mentoring program dug soil in the area we think that the lynching occurred. And then we had a remembrance program from Mr. Thomas Jurix. And there we gave him a proper homegoing service. At that service, and I'm going to show you a picture of it, we had a lot of student participation. The Frederick Douglass Choir, we had a dancer from Suitland. We had a winner of one of this contest, our first contest, who recited his poetry. And we're planning 3 other soil collections and memorial services for the other 3 victims whose names that you heard. We have markers. We think that history needs to be made public. A lot of, I think you've heard reference now, a lot of our past is being suppressed and pulled from the public eye. And we have these historical markers that we want to install near the lynching sites to honor and so that people never forget what has happened here. And to do that, we have to do historical research. So we have a committee that actually does historical research. And even when we started this Lynching Memorial Project, we started in 2019. It's all volunteer. It's a diverse group of us from across the county who are working to have these programs come alive. So we had to do research. One of the interesting things, we thought we had 5 men who had been lynched. It turns out it was only 4. The other person who was listed under there was not a victim of racial terror lynching. He was a white man who engaged in some criminal activity, I think barn burning, which was a major crime at that time. So when we're doing our education and advance work, the racial justice essay and creative arts contest for high school students is something that we do. I think we're one of the few county coalitions. There are 14 counties in Maryland who have lynching memorial projects. There are about 17 counties in Maryland where we know that there were lynchings. When we started EJI, we were inspired by the work of Brian Stevenson at the Equal Justice Initiative in Montgomery, Alabama, and they have a legacy museum. And Brian, anybody see Just Mercy, the movie Just Mercy? It's based on his work and his book. And we have hope that our soil collection jar that you saw there will be shown there. And we will, and he supported the first year, they supported the essay part of our contest. We wanted to extend it to creative arts as well, because there is power in how people tell a story through the arts and through words. So we've been able to continue this, students, and the number of students who participate has increased each year. And we have students from most of the high schools in the area. And we've also had a homeschool student who won one year. We will continue this work in next year. So we hope that you will spread the word to your fellow students and parents to participate. And we hope that you, I will see your slide, we are open to receiving donations to help support this contest. One of the things that happened this year, we have judges, and one of the and I'll show you the judges, and they're listed in your program, who commented on the quality of the work that was submitted and asked, can we share this? Can I show this to other people? Can I show what young people in our county are thinking about and the level of critique and commentary that they have? So this year we're working on curating the past entries. We want to pull it together and share it with everybody. And in fact, this week, we got a commitment from the Hyattsville Library that they want to show and display the artwork. And are going to work with us with counties, with the libraries across the county to see if we can find a way to share the thoughts of our young students. And these are some other things that we are doing: materials development. We have fact sheets and brochures that you saw. For the brochure that we have was actually done by students at the University of Maryland in their journalism department, so we're really trying to reach out to students at all levels. We have book discussions and webinars, and we had a public hearing in 2025 where we heard from descendants of people of families who had a lynching victim in our county, and we heard from a descendant of an enslaver. And so if you get a chance, please go back and look at that. It's available on YouTube. And some of you might be familiar with the really powerful testimony, in particular from Blair Bowie, whose family is the Bowie family that we know about, who were enslavers at that time. So this is the remembrance program that we had in 2023. And what I wanted to show you in terms of student involvement, see that beautiful cart over there? When we had the soil collected, when people come to the remembrance program, they are able to scoop some of that soil from the lynching site and put it in a jar that's stored in a museum. That cart was built by public high school students in our county. This is the public hearing that we held in January 2025. And that hearing was done in part by the Maryland Lynching Truth and Reconciliation Commission. We are the only state that has had such a commission that's really looking at these issues. And I wanted to, one of the commissioners is here with us today, and Amy Miller. And these are pictures on your left. That's some of us who belong to the Prince George's County Lynching Memorial Project. In the middle, our students, we had students read the stories of the lynching victims. And so one student is from the University of Maryland, two students are Bowie State University students. It was held at Bowie State. And the other student is doing an internship at Joe's Movement Emporium that does a lot of arts work, and they were actually a co-sponsor of our contest about 2 years ago. And the other pictures, the Attorney General was there, and this is the committee chair, Bakumi, Dr. David, there. We were, this year, Prince George's County school system had their first Teen Writers Conference, and we were invited to attend. So we were very pleased to attend that conference, have a workshop with students to talk about writing about racial justice. And that's the award we were given for the work that we are doing. And this is just a copy of, we received recognition from the Prince George's County Historical Society for the work that we're doing also. Now, the one consistent thing about some of these pictures here is the mayor. And so we are really pleased to be here. These are some of the winners from 2022, 2023. And Mayor, I did not have the group picture from 2024, but these are some of the winners from last year. And if you'll notice that one of the creative arts winners for her artwork is, we used it on the flyer. I don't think you have a copy of the flyer, but the flyer for the contest of this year has her artwork displayed on it. I just wanted to acknowledge our financial supporters. I wanted for you to notice this quote: somebody has to stand when other people are sitting. Somebody has to speak when other people are quiet. And I think our senator who spoke with us earlier, Senator Washington, pretty much said that in his remarks, is this is not a time to be silent or to sit down. And so we're really trying to encourage everyone to speak in the voice they have and sharing their knowledge and their perspectives with us. These are the judges. We had really good judges. We've always had really good judges. But our judges, thanks to Zoom and technology, are not limited just to Prince George's County. One of our judges is a lawyer in the Virgin Islands. We have one of our judges who's at UDC, is an associate dean, but worked for a while years ago as a public school teacher here in Prince George's County. One of our judges is at the University of Maryland, and that's the one that was so impressed to say, can I share this work? We need to find a way to get it out. So we have wonderful judges here. And you see a little bit about the judges on your program. So here's how to get involved with us. There's information in the back. If you have any questions, please speak to any of us. We're almost all of us identified with the button that we have. And I think that's it. And these are ways to contact us. So thank you again very much. And thanks for your interest in these issues. And we work and we have open arms to your ideas and your involvement. Thank you.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce the County Council Member at Large, Jolene Ivy, a respected leader and advocate for justice in our community. Councilmember Ivy has been a tireless champion for equity, education, and empowerment. She will present citations to our talented winners.
Thank you, Terry, and thank you, everybody. This is such a wonderful organization. I got all excited about it a few years ago. It was before COVID. I heard about what you all were doing from just a neighbor who was going to come to a meeting, and I said, I want to come. So I came. It was in Upper Marlboro, and the next thing I knew, COVID hit, and so everything went virtual. So the work didn't stop. And the work can't stop. And as I've told my other council members about this project, there's been a lot of interest. I know that when we had the soil collection for Mr. Thomas Jurix, we had Sidney Harrison came and spoke because he was representing or is representing the area where Mr. Jurix was lynched. And I think it's really powerful to continue to have these. I did not hear when the next one is. Do we have a plan yet for a date for the next soil collection? And, okay, well, keep me posted because we're making sure that the council continues to support, and you know, money's important, it helps. So that's the little bit that we can do, is to give grants and to make sure that the signs get made and the history isn't lost. So I have a few of these. Want some help? I think I need some help because it's sliding down, I guess because of the laptop.
Here I am to help.
Here you go. This is Nikki Greco, who works with me. Okay. Bryla Alicia Burton, Charles Herbert Flowers High School. Congratulations. There you go. And then we have Angelina Alcomperric. Charles Herbert Flowers High School.
Thank you.
Good for you.
Riley, who is Riley?
And Angel Adusoji, Chesapeake Math and IT Academic North High School.
Councilmember, I'll take a picture with Riley.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get a picture.
Okay, thank you.
Your Angel. There you go. You got first place.
Thank you.
Ava Raines, Eleanor Roosevelt High School. Talia Fletcher, Frederick Douglass High School. Cheyenne M. Godfrey, Eleanor Roosevelt High School. First place. Devin Bond, Frederick Douglass High School, third place. Not here, okay. I see Frederick Douglass High School, and I think of my dad, he used to teach there. Also Caroline Young. Zion Lawson, Oxon Hill High School. Is here. And let's see, we have another first place winner here, Urelis Taveras Ramirez, Chesapeake Math and IT Academy, North High School.
I stepped on her sister's foot in the elevator. I've been to these before, I love them.
Good afternoon. At this part of the program, we're going to sing the Black National Anthem. If everyone could please rise and sing together. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as silent tears, know who has brought us thus far on the way. Thou who hast by thy light led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we read. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget Thee. Shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand. True to our God, true to our native land. Thank you. We have now come to the part of our program where it is time to spotlight and honor our young people who are not only so creative, but are also our leaders, our future leaders. They have used their creative talents to spotlight issues in which we as grown people, we can take their lead. We can take what it is that they have laid before us and assist them as they move into this world. They are sharing their talents, but I know that it is without the support and encouragement, those aha moments, those a pat on the shoulder from parents and teachers and guidance counselors that have made the biggest difference. Can we please give the parents, caregivers, adults in these creatives' lives, please give them a round of applause. We're going to start with our essay winners, and we would have each winner come up and please present your essay. Third place is Carolyn Guion. For the essay, third place, Carolyn Guion. Her essay was entitled Veil of Injustice, the Erasure, and she's representing Frederick Douglass High School.
Thank you everyone for being here. My name is Caroline Dunn, and I'm incredibly honored to have received third place in this year's Prince George's County Literary Magazine program. My essay titled Veil of Injustice, the Erasure, explores how Black bodies have been exploited throughout American medical history, and how those stories have often been forgotten, erased, or hidden behind the pursuit of progress. I wrote this piece not just to tell a story, but to spark a conversation, one that challenges how we think, how we treat others, and how we grow. Writing to me is not just a subject in school, it's a form of advocacy, a way to speak when speaking feels impossible. Through this essay, I reflected on the heavy discrimination against people of color in healthcare and medical field. Rural women whose pains have been dismissed, like the enslaved women experimented on without anesthesia by Dr. J. Marion Sims, and about how the legacy still affects Black communities today through deep mistrust and unequal access to care. I shared the story of the Tuskegee syphilis study of Henrietta Lacks, whose cells changed the world of science, but who was never asked, never compensated, and never amended the way she should have been. And I realized how powerful it can be to put your truth on paper. Winning this award reminds me that youth voices matter, and that our words can reach beyond the page. Thank you to the PGC LMP organizers, my teachers, and myself for believing in the power of young writers, and thank you for allowing me to share this story. Thank you again for this recognition and for supporting student writers like me. I am so excited to grow, keep writing, and keep using my voice to make a difference. The smell of antiseptic and sweat lingers in the stale air, but the name of the patient is lost, forgotten beneath layers of dust. The woman lies there, her body cold, dissected, not by the hands of a healer, but by a cruel curiosity, Max is medicine. She is nameless, her pain ignored, her story erased from history, as if it never existed at all. Her body was nothing but a tool, a means to an end that would one day lead to new advancements, but at a cost so steep that her identity would be sacrificed for the greater good. The erasure is not an isolated incident. It is a pattern repeated throughout history, where Black lives, whether through violence, exploitation, or negligence, have been consumed. Their stories faded into the forgotten corners of time, from the gruesome internment of freed Black people in the Devil's Punch Bowl after the Civil War, to the unethical and medical exploitation of Black bodies. History has shown a consistent refusal to acknowledge the humanity of these victims. The history of medicine in the United States is deeply tied to racial exploitation, particularly of Black Americans. From the 19th century, medical practices relied on the forced use of Black bodies for dissection and experimentation. Enslaved Black individuals were treated as anatomical materials in medical schools, especially in the South, used their bodies without consent for anatomical studies. Dr. James Marion Sims, hailed as the father of modern gynecology, conducted invasive surgeries on enslaved Black women without anesthesia, treating them as expendable tools for his research. This tradition of dehumanization continued into the 20th century with forced sterilization and unethical experiments, like the Tuskegee syphilis study, where Black men were deliberately left untreated for syphilis for decades. As Paul Farmer explains, structural violence refers to how society systems are organized to put certain groups of people in harm's way. The arrangements are structural because they are embedded in the political and economic organization of our social world. They are violent because they cause injury to people. This understanding is crucial when examining the ongoing effects of medical racism, which have led to profound disparities in health outcomes, from forced sterilization in the early 20th century to the disproportionate deaths of Black patients. Today, due to inadequate health care, the legacy of racial violence in medicine has shaped the health experiences of Black Americans, continuing to manifest in the form of higher rates of maternal, infant mortality, chronic illness, and mistrust in the medical institutions. The exploitation of Black bodies in the medical field is a dark chapter of American history that continues to affect the Black community today. In 1951, Henrietta Lacks, a Black woman from Baltimore, unknowingly became the subject of medical breakthrough that changed science forever, while receiving treatment for cervical cancer. A sample of her cells were taken without her consent. These cells, known as HeLa cells, contributed to the development of the polio and advancements in cancer research, but Lacks and her family were never compensated. The lawsuit filed by Lacks Estates against Thermo Fisher Scientific Incorporated in 2023 accused the biotech company of unjustly profiting from her genetic material, highlighting how Black suffering has fueled innumerable medical progress and profit without just compensation or just recognition. This historical exploitation of Black people is not an isolated case, a part of a long history of medical abuse. From the grave robbing of Black bodies in the 18th and 19th century to unethical experiments on incarcerated Black men, such as Dr. Albert M. Kligman's testing of dioxin on prisoners in Philadelphia, Black Americans have been repeatedly subjected to harmful medical practices without consent. As Harriet A. Washington outlines in Medical Apathy, the medical community disregard for Black life extended beyond the famous Tuskegee syphilis study. This widespread exploitation left enduring scars in the Black community, contributing to the deep mistrust many Black people still hold toward the healthcare system. Understanding the legacy of medical racism is essential in addressing the ongoing health disparities faced by Black Americans. From higher maternal mortality rates to the belief held by some medical professionals that Black patients experience less pain intensity than white patients, these injustices persist today. Acknowledging this history is critical for building trust and ensuring the same similar exploitation never happens again. Black suffering has fueled innumerable medical progress and profits without just compensation or recognition. It is essential that we reckon with this truth in order to move toward true racial equity in medicine. The Tuskegee syphilis study was an egregious example of racial exploitation in medicine that left deep scars in the African American society, continuing to affect the relationship with the healthcare system. This study, spanning from 1932 to 1972, stands as one of the most significant ethical violations in medical history. The study aimed to observe the progression of untreated syphilis in African American men in Tuskegee, Alabama, but the subjects were never informed that they had syphilis, nor were they treated when penicillin, the effective cure, became widely available in 1940. 2014. One of the most enduring legacies of the Tuskegee syphilis study is its role in shaping African American skepticism towards public health initiatives. The study contributed to the reluctance of many African Americans to participate in medical research or seek treatment for diseases like HIV, AIDS, fearing that they would once again be exploited. In light of these historical wrongs, it is crucial for the medical community to acknowledge the past and take steps to rebuild trust with African American communities. This includes ensuring that all medical research is conducted with the highest ethical standards, such as informed consent and respect for patient autonomy. Additionally, policies must be implemented to address the ongoing health disparities that disproportionately affect Black Americans, as the Tuskegee study's legacy of neglect continues to manifest in the form of unequal healthcare access. In conclusion, the Tuskegee syphilis study was a manifestation of racial exploitation in medical research that not only harmed its immediate subject, but also created a lasting legacy of mistrust and fear within the African American community. To heal from this trauma, it is essential to recognize the lessons of the past and commit to a future where ethical practices and equitable healthcare access are a reality for all. By acknowledging the historical injustices that have shaped Black Americans' experiences in healthcare, the medical community can take meaningful steps towards healing and building a more inclusive and just healthcare system. But the woman's awareness, brief and fragile as it was, did not change the inevitable. She became another forgotten casualty in a long history of erasure. Her pain, her body, treated as though they never existed. Her name would be lost, her story would be lost, and this was not just her story, but the story of so many Black women, Black men, whose bodies were used, whose lives were discarded. This history, filled with violence, exploitation, and silence, continues to haunt us, shaping the present and the future. To move forward, we must confront the injustice of the past and demand that the lives of those who were erased be remembered and honored. Only through acknowledgement can we begin to heal the wounds of this unspoken history.
Thank you, Caroline. Our second, we have two people who are not here, so we're going to move to our first place winner is Guereles Tavares Ramirez from Chains to Denial, the Hidden Cost of Colonialism in the Dominican Republic. She's representing Chesapeake Math and IT North High School.
My name is Guereles Ramirez, and I'm going to be reading my essay, Chains to Denial, the Hidden Cost of Colonialism in the Dominican Republic. When we think about people affected by colorism, we don't recognize how other communities have been affected. Due to its normalization, I would understand why it's ignored. The Dominican Republic, like many other Latin American countries, still bears the scars of colonialism and systematic racism and deep-rooted struggle with Black identity today. Even though Spain left long ago, the way it treated African and indigenous people created deep problems that continue to affect Dominican society. These problems show up in racism, colorism, and the way many Dominicans deny their African heritage. For centuries, darker skin has been looked down upon, and Blackness has been treated as something negative. This essay was for the lasting trauma of colonialism in the Dominican Republic, now analyzing its historical roots, present-day implications, and connect this to Black struggles in the United States. By understanding this history, we begin to break the cycle of racial self-denial and embrace and celebrate Afro-Dominican roots. The denial of Spanish colonizers in 1492 marked the beginning of a racial caste system that prioritized European ancestry and dehumanizing indigenous and African people. They forced the native Taino people into slavery under a system called encomienda. Often, however, as disease and brutal working conditions wiped out much of the Taino population, the Spanish forcibly began bringing enslaved Africans to Hispaniola. contributing to the development of a plantation-based economy reliant on their labor. Over time, Africans became a large part of the population, but they were always treated as inferior. The Spanish created a racial hierarchy where being white meant power and being black meant being at the bottom of society. Blackness in the eyes of the Spanish elite was something to be controlled and erased. One of the main reasons these ideas lasted so long is because of religion. As European racial ideologies took hold, so did religious justifications for African inferiority. The Catholic Church and European colonizers used a false interpretation of a Bible story called Ham's redemption to justify slavery. According to this story, Noah cursed his son Ham into saying that his descendants would always be servants, wrongfully claiming that black people were the descendants of Ham and were cursed and destined to slavery. They used this idea to argue that Africans were meant to be enslaved. This ideology did not end with slavery, but evolved into a widespread belief system that equated whiteness with power and progress, and blacks seen as something negative. Blackness became something to be hidden, denied, or eradicated. Even after slavery ended, it continued to shape how people saw race in the Dominican Republic. These ideas became stronger during the rule of Rafael Trujillo from 1930 to 1961, one of the most racially oppressive regimes in Dominican history. Trujillo, who himself had African ancestry, promoted a national whining campaign, encouraged European immigration, and reinforced anti-Haitian ideologies. He encouraged Europeans to migrate to the Dominican Republic and tried to erase African culture. The worst example of his racism was the Parsley Massacre in 1937, where over 20,000 Haitians and dark-skinned Dominicans were slaughtered based on their inability to pronounce the Spanish word perejil, parsley. This massacre not only eliminated thousands, but solidified racial divisions, making it clear that in the Dominican Republic, blackness, especially Haitian blackness, was a death sentence. Today, the consequences of colonial and post-colonial racial ideology remain deeply embedded in Dominican society and the people's identity. One of the biggest ways is through colorism, where lighter-skinned people are treated better than those with darker skin. Colorism and internalized racism are prevalent, with Dominicans often categorizing themselves as Indio or Trugueño, rather than acknowledging their African heritage. The pressure to conform and prefer European beauty standards is evident in the widespread use of skin bleaching products and the preference for straightened hair over natural curls, and the stigmatization of pelo malo, bad hair. Additionally, the 2013 Dominican Constitutional Court ruling stripped thousands of Dominicans of Haitian descent of their citizenship, rendering them stateless. This decision, rooted in anti-Black and anti-Haitian ideologies, reinforced that the idea that Blackness is incompatible with Dominican identity. The ruling left generations of people without access to education, healthcare, or employment, modern-day evidence that racial hierarchies established during colonialism. Economic and social disparities also reflect this legacy. Studies show that Afro-Dominicans face higher levels of unemployment, lower wages, and limited political representation. These inequalities are not accidental, but a direct result of a society that historically privileged whiteness and diminishing blackness. In the United States, Black people continue to experience the lasting effects of colonialism through systematic racism, economic inequality, and social discrimination, struggles that parallel those in the Dominican Republic. Colonial-era justifications for slavery, such as the idea that Blackness equaled inferiority, evolved into laws and policies that kept Black Americans oppressed, from Jim Crow segregation to redlining and mass incarceration. Similarly, in the Dominican Republic, anti-Blackness rooted in colonial rule led to racial hierarchies, economic disadvantages for darker-skinned Dominicans, and laws targeting Dominicans of Haitian descent. Both countries have enforced policies that marginalize Black communities while promoting whiteness as the standard of success and power. Additionally, just as the Dominican Republic has seen widespread colorism, the United States has also had a long history of lighter-skinned Black people receiving better treatment than those with darker skin, reinforcing colonial beauty standards and racial divisions. However, in both nations, there has also been resistance. Afro-Dominicans and African Americans alike have fought back against these injustices, reclaiming their identities and challenging those systems that were built to oppress them. The struggle of Black people in both countries are deeply connected, showing that colonialism impact is not just a thing of the past, but a present-day reality that must be confronted. The racial struggles faced by Dominicans do not end within adulthood. When Dominicans migrate to the United States, they are often confronted with an American racial system that categorizes them as Black, forcing many to reconcile with the identity that they were taught to reject. Many Afro-Dominicans experience discrimination not just from white Americans, but also in Latino communities, where anti-Black persists. The struggle of Afro-Latino representation in media, politics, and activism highlights the challenges of navigating two worlds, being both Latino and Black in a society that often fails to see them as both. U.S. interventions in the Dominican Republic have reinforced systematic oppression. The United States occupation of 1961 and 1924 and the military intervention in 1965 supported leaders who maintained racial and class divisions. The United States also aided Trujillo's rise to power, indirectly enabling his oppressive racial policies. This historical interference demonstrates how racial and colonial oppression is not just a Dominican issue, but a part of a larger system of global anti-Blackness. The effects of colonialism are still very much alive in the Dominican Republic, from the way people talk about skin color to the laws that target Haitians. The racist ideas introduced by European colonizers still shape Dominican society. However, this isn't just a Dominican issue. Colorism and anti-Black exist throughout the Americas, including in the United States, where lighter-skinned Black people have historically been given more privileges, while darker-skinned individuals face harsher discrimination. These divisions were created by a colonial system designed to uphold whiteness as the ideal. But learning about this history is the first step towards change. Dominicans and African Americans must acknowledge and embrace their African roots instead of rejecting them. Afro-Dominicans are not just descendants of slaves. They are also descendants of warriors, leaders, and freedom fighters. By reclaiming our history and challenging these racist ideas, we can build a future where Blackness is no longer seen as something to be ashamed of, but something to be proud of, both in the Dominican Republic and across the African diaspora. Thank you, guys.
And now we're going to move on to the creative writing section. In third place, Ava Raines with Parties Unknown. And Ava is representing Eleanor Roosevelt High School.
Good afternoon. I'll be reading my poem, Parties Unknown, which is about Mr. Stephen Williams, retelling his story. In the darkness of night, where evil takes flight, they came for him under the sheath of night. They stood outside the jails for hours on end, ruthlessly bashing the iron door, trying to get in. Stephen Williams, hearing all this go down, pleaded for protection, but guards turned him around. Williams, scared for his life, hid under the mattress and turned off his light. The crowd got in, noosed his neck, dragged him down the stairs with not an ounce of regret. They then took him to the bridge and threw him over, instantly breaking his neck. Another life stolen, another soul smoldered. A deputy came by, dispersed the crowd, leaving his body hanging limp on display for the town. My anger boils hot and rage fills my chest. How could they do this? Where's the justice in this mess? The law turned its back, letting hate win, allowing this cycle to repeat time and time again. Today I walk the land where their shadows remain. Each step is heavy, remembering their pain. The place we call home, it bears their cries. Boundless unanswered questions under endless skies. I grieve for these people, their lives left to rot, the law that stood stagnant, their justice forgot. I will forever be angered for these souls done wrong, all their stories ending the same, death by hanging by parties unknown. Thank you.
In second place, we have Kalia Fletcher with The Strength in Our Stride, and Kalia is representing Frederick Douglass High School. Please give her a round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. As previously stated, my name is Kalia Fletcher, and I'll be reading my poem, The Strength in Our Stride. The Strength in Our Stride is a powerful anthem of resilience, rooted in the collective experiences of Black communities across generations. It draws heavily on the historical struggles against systemic racism, social inequality, and cultural erasure, while celebrating enduring strength, pride, and unity. The strength in our stride. Still we rise, unbroken, strong. The strength in our stride. We walk with history in our veins, a story etched in joy and pain. From chains that bound to dreams that rise, we lift our heads, we touch the skies. The echoes of our past remain through whispered winds and fallen rain. The weight of struggle, love, and fight, a people glowing in the night. Yet still, the world won't always see the strength that thrives in you and me. They paint us wrong, they cast us low, but deep inside we truly know. Still we rise, unbroken, strong. We battle walls, both seen and veiled. Our voices hushed, our worth curtailed. Yet every barrier in our way, we push against, we will not sway. The schools we enter lack the means to nurture all our greatest dreams. Desks are cracked, the books are torn, yet still our minds refuse to mourn. We build our futures brick by brick, despite the tools that come up slick. The funds don't flow where we reside, but knowledge burns and grows inside. Still we rise, unbroken, strong. The jobs deny, the doors stay closed. Our talents question, skills oppose. But still we rise and carve our place, with grit and fire, with style and grace. The law is meant to guard and shield, but in its grip, too many yield. A traffic stop, a harmless stroll, can steal a breath, can take a soul. We chant the names, we march the streets, demanding justice, steady beats. The system shifts, but far too slow, while grief and rage still overflow. Still we rise, unbroken, strong. Our crowns are judged, our skin is weighed by standards cruelly man-made. But coils and curls, locks tight and free, hold more than beauty, hold history. We fight for pay, for homes, for care, for doctors who will treat us fair. The bias cuts, the stats don't lie, more pain ignored, more souls left dry. The screens we watch, the books we read, still lack the faces that we need. Yet when we shine, we own the stage, with words, with art, with burning rage. Still we rise, unbroken, strong. Through every loss, through every call, resilience sown within our name. We stand as one, despite the pain. The future hums in steady tone, a song of what is yet unknown. But one thing sure, through all we bear, our love, our strength will not despair. So hear us now, worldwide and far, we are the light, the northern star. No storm, no hate, no pain so deep can crush the roots that we must keep. We are the dream, the fight, the flame. The past and future call our name. And though the road is hard and long, we walk with power, proud and strong. Still we rise, unbroken, strong.
And now we'd like to present the first place winner in the creative writing category, Cheyenne Godfrey with Fields of Greed. Cheyenne is representing Eleanor Roosevelt High School as well.
Good afternoon. I'm presenting my poem, Fields of Greed. Underneath the sky where bald eagles soar,
chronicle of chains of blood and of a searing war, where fields of American greed drank sweat and hollowing cries of freedom flickered like damaged light bulb in dreary eyes. Maryland stood, a house divided, slave codes written with justice slighted, uncharted lands built by hopes and chains, where black hands toiled in unseen pain. A warning cloaked in a ghastly white, the Klan marched with a twisted delight. Crosses lifted high in the air, for bait to come crawling into a snare. Through hate burned clear in their eyes, and never led to the black man's demise. Yet voices rose, undeterred, strong, a battle fought through teeth and tongue. Led heavy souls into business undone, their voices are beautiful and unwavering in fearless song. Yet from these lashes a people grew, defiant, bold, and their strength renewed. Fields of greed filled with blood from African slaves, fueled the train with remembrance of graves. Harriet ran with desperate stride, leading souls to the other side. Frederick spoke, his words aflame, igniting chains into metal, breaking shackles and naming names. With a new iron chain and a sharpened pen, he dared to stand, defying them again and again. The news still swayed from southern trees, the law bent to grant a hateful decree. Sundown towns and whispered fear, warnings carved so loud and so very clear. No flag of hate, no burning cross of sin can tarnish our history, nor erase the lashes off our skin. For every march, each battle was won, the stories told, the work's not done. Secure our future, great again, old lies repackaged, preached in vain. Still, white hoods hide behind new means, abhorrence woven in their schemes. Red-lined streets and the sirens rail, different chains, same old jail. Spreading lies like it's a Bible verse, to shatter the hopes and dreams of groups diverse. They fight to make injustice last, while shielding the documents of the past. The slogans change, their faces too, although hate still walks in tailored suits. Yet we are here, unbowed, unbroke, our voices strong and our spirits woke. Through ballots cast and lessons taught, we rise in ways they never thought. For every bridge that they set aflame, we build anew and sign our name. A future shaped by those who have a dream, by hands that fought, by hearts that gleam. Beneath the Maryland sky so wide, black voices echo, undenied, not just in pain, but in our might. Still we stand, still we must.
The last category we have is the visual arts. In third place, we have Riley Alicia Burton. And Riley's piece is entitled Never Forgotten. Riley Alicia. Alicia, thank you. Riley Alicia is representing Charles Herbert Flowers High School.
Good afternoon, everyone. Unfortunately, I did not bring my painting, but I'm going to do my best to describe it to you and kind of explain what inspired me to make it. So it's called Never Forgotten because what's pictured is a black graduate, a female black graduate with ideas in her hair, so like in her head and the weight that black hair carries in our community. And my inspiration for it was that in school, as a black person, especially in this county, you always hear from the time you're 5 to the time you're 18 about black excellence. And I've been seeing black excellence more and more as I've matriculated through the school system in this county. So what I painted was a black graduate. She's a woman, you know, one of the few advances that we've made as a people. And in her hair are different examples of discrimination that black people have faced. For example, one of the images is a lynching, which is, again, one of the main reasons that this organization is here to bring awareness to that. Another one is a black girl with bantu knots and cornrows in her hair with two white girls on either side of her saying that her hair is weird or it's not something that they're used to seeing, which is a very common experience for a lot of black people, such as myself. I've heard, oh, can I touch it, or what's in it, things like that, that might not seem very important, but they're not minuscule, they're very important. And kind of going with that, another part of her hair is different styles that black people wear. Like I see certain people in the room have locks, or they wear their hair curly, or like myself where I have braids. But that part is one of the most important pieces because there was an act passed in Texas a couple years ago that prohibited black students with locks or long curly hair from attending school. And I just thought that that's not something that's okay because nobody else has to deal with that experience. And then another part of the painting is just a pair of handcuffs to represent all of the wrongful arrests that have been made to black men and black women in America. So I just entitled it Never Forgotten because it's important that I, as a young person, carry on sharing the experiences of the people before me and that they're never forgotten. Thank you.
In second place, we have Angelina Akumperik from Charles Herbert Flowers High School. Her piece is entitled Latasha Harlins. Please give Angelina a round of applause.
Good afternoon. My piece is called Latasha Harlins, as it represents a 15-year-old girl named Latasha Harlins who was shot over orange juice. This piece, I don't really have it physically with me, but I can explain it. It's a piece showing Latasha Harlins sitting on a pile of orange juice smiling. And the other half, it shows some words titled, "You will be remembered." And she's smiling because as she's in heaven, she's smiling because she knows that one day, her voice will be heard and she will be remembered. That's my piece, Latasha Harlins.
And the first place winner for visual arts is Angel Adesoji. Her piece is entitled The Intercepting Fingers, and Angel's representing Chesapeake Math and IT Academy North.
Hello. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my piece either, so I'll try to explain it too. My piece basically shows like a black girl, and around her, like she's blowing bubbles. In these bubbles, there are certain career paths she had, like she had Madam President, she had the astronaut, engineer, a lawyer, maybe Army general, or doctor, and these are careers she wants to pursue in life. As she's blowing the bubbles, she's letting them into life, and the bigger the bubbles they get, the bigger the dream is. So for her bigger bubbles, we can see like, well, you can't see, but like, her bigger bubbles are those of like doctors, like she really wants to become a doctor or a president or astronaut. Around her though, we can see the intercepting fingers, which is the name of my piece. We can see the intercepting fingers, those of white men who come to pop her bubbles and destroy her dreams. We can also see this in real life where African American children will try to like pursue their dreams or like pursue a career or something, and there will be like some like a barricade blocking them from pursuing what they want. These are the intercepting fingers are those of white men who take roles in important positions like congressmen, president, police officers, and they pass policies and legislation that limit the dreams of black. The intercepting fingers trample on the dreams of black children across America and limit their hopes and aspirations in the drawing I made. In the drawing, they're popping the girl's bubbles, such as she wants to become president, she wants to become a doctor or army general, and the white fingers are popping her dreams and aspirations. The intercepting fingers also leave hurtful words like black job, which is a term used by this administration to talk about how black people only have certain jobs that they could choose to pursue. They also leave words like DEI hire, which is another word to limit black children's dream and black people's dream, saying that they only got hired for DEI and to be exclusive. You also have another term called a man's job, which is used to kind of limit her dreams on pursuing careers or male-dominated careers. These damaging thoughts are left in the girl's mind to limit black children and girls and boys and limit their goals of pursuing and thinking about their dreams. Despite this all, the black girl still prevails, constantly trying to turn her big dreams into reality by blowing more bubbles with her dreams inside. Through time, we can see that as the more she puts her soul into her dreams and passions, the duller she becomes. In the picture, I kind of made her dreams more of a more vibrant version of her. In her dreams, they're kind of sparkling and they have all these effects on it. But she's growing more dull and dull because her dreams keep getting popped and destroyed by white men. And this piece is called "The Intercepting Fingers" by Angel had said. Thank you very much.
Million, please, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. She delivered our checks from Baltimore to make sure you were getting your money today. If you did not receive a check, you will receive one. So we thank you so much. We have another presentation winners. I'm honored to introduce a passionate advocate for our community and champion for social justice, Delegate Ashanti Martinez. He will present citations to our winners.
So, good afternoon. How's everyone doing?
Great.
Good. So, I am Maryland State Delegate Ashanti Martinez. I have the honor and privilege of representing Greenbelt in the Maryland General Assembly. And this bit in particular is so important to me because I absolutely love our young people. I think Prince George's County has some of the best and brightest, and it's about providing opportunities for them to shine, but particularly in this moment when we have so much division around just what American history is, what our history is, what Black history is. It's so important that we provide opportunities not only for our young people to participate and be creative, but also celebrate and uplift them as well. And so one of the privileges that I get because I'm delegate is I get to do delegate citations, which are these really, really pretty pieces of paper that say congratulations. And so I have a bunch of them. I don't want to butcher anyone's name, so if all the awardees could come up, and then I'll give you guys your citations and I'll read them, and then we can take some pictures, and then we can go about celebrating you some more. So if all of the awardees, I think we got everyone. So first, second, and third place winners, everyone please come on up. So Angel. Yeah. Yeah, stand up here, hold them up, smile, and then we'll take a picture. Angelina? Caroline? Is it Arelis? Taveras Ramirez? Devin Paul? Is Devin here?
Not here.
Okay, I'll say this.
Devin resigned.
Devin resigned. Okay, I'll make sure you say it. So, where is that? Is it Kalia? Ava? China? bit. Then it states, Maryland General Assembly official citation, be it hereby known to all, sincerest congratulations are offered to all of you in recognition of winning and placing in the 2025 Prince George's Racial Justice Creative Arts and Essay Contest, a testament to your passion and unwavering commitment to advancing racial equity and justice in Maryland. Thank you all for your contributions presented on this day, 3rd day of May 2025. I Delegate Shanti Martinez, Prince George's County, Legislative District 22. So congratulations again to all of you. And then I'm gonna get, let's see, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna stand in the middle. Make sure you see them. Everyone's proud. Where do you want me?
In front of the table with everybody.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes. We're just gonna move this over to the side, and then we're gonna take a picture of that. It's much easier. Okay. Everyone's make sure not upside down. Okay, there we go.
Gotta move in some guys.
Okay.
Squeeze
Like we like each other. Just trying to stay out of it. And this one for Jacob. Perfect. Everyone got your photos? Yeah. Well, can we get another round of applause for our award? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, winners. I wanted to take this moment to acknowledge the invaluable contributions of our dedicated teachers. Do we have any teachers here this afternoon? Thank you. We appreciate your tireless efforts in fostering curiosity, creativity, and critical thinking among our students. Your guidance and support have been instrumental in shaping the minds and hearts of these young leaders, encouraging them to engage meaningfully with vital issues like racial justice. Do we have any judges? I know some of the judges I invited said they were coming. Any of our judges? We're deeply grateful for your time and expertise you devoted to this contest. Thank you. And finally, I want to recognize the members of the Prince George's County Lynching Memorial Project. Your work is significant. This is a significant part of the foundation upon which we build a more just and equitable community. Stand, please. Prince George's County Lynching. Thank you. I want to give a special acknowledgement to Ms. Pat McCartney, the co-chair of the Racial Justice Contest ceremony. We appreciate all the hard work and vision you have brought to this initiative. Ms. McCartney, thank you. And a special thank you for our co-host this afternoon, Dr. Sherry Mehta, for all your talent in leading us in our song and in this project. My final comments. As we conclude this celebration, I want to take a moment to speak directly to our talented student winners. Congratulations on your outstanding achievements. Your hard work, creativity, and dedication to advocating for racial justice have earned you recognition today and made a lasting impact on our community. You are tomorrow's leaders, and your voice matters now more than ever. Through your participation in this contest, you have shown us the power of youth to inspire change and challenge the status quo. Continue to be fearless in your pursuits and passionate about your ideas. Remember, every great movement starts with individuals like you who dare to speak up and stand out. We are incredibly proud of you and excited to see where your talents and passion will take you. Keep pushing forward and never underestimate the difference you can make in this world. Congratulations once again, and thank you for being a source of hope and inspiration for us all. Finally, we want to take a moment to acknowledge the chair of the Education Committee, Pat Neal, who lost her beloved mother, who lived to the remarkable age of 103 years old. Let us take a moment of silence to honor Pat Neal's mother and the life she has lived in this community. Now, thank you. Have a great afternoon. Enjoy refreshments. And I do have the projects that I'm going to put on the laptops that I can pull up so you can actually see our visual arts project. Yes.